Hey guys, Jonathan here, and today we're taking a look at the 2026 LEGO Marvel Epic Battle Hulkbuster versus the Hulk. LEGO sent me this set early to review, but of course all thoughts are my own, and this one is going to be $50 with 2 minifigs, well, one's big fig, and 413 pieces. This is a new entry in the LEGO Marvel sub-theme, the Epic Moment collection, and right off the bat, I think it's a very strong entry. I will say, I do think it's a little odd the branding is off, like the set is called Epic Battle, but then the sub-theme is called Epic Moment. They both should have just been the same thing. Anyways, regardless, it's a really nice build here. As you can see, we have a rounded black base with a printed tile with the movie name and the participants in the battle. And as it builds upward, we just get so much cool battle damage going on around the scene. And of course, the Hulkbuster and the Hulk are removable and able to be played with in the scene or on their own. So let's take a closer look now and break it all down. So the set itself is 413 pieces. I think it does a really good job of using those pieces well. Of course, as you can see, the Hulkbuster is flying through the air, fighting against the Hulk, who is jumping up on this pillar, and it's really amazing. So really, the Hulk just lifts off very easily, just like that, and the Hulkbuster lifts off very easily as well, so there you go. Let's take a closer look at this part of the build. As you can see, we've got that printed Avengers Age of Ultron piece there, which is really nice, because as we build out the Epic Moment collection, having these all side by side would be cool. You could put them in like chronological order of release or how they happened in the MCU. Actually, we can't even say the MCU because we also got one for Spider-Man 3. There's a review on my channel of that as well, so that's cool. I love this J-hook here that has the Veronica hand flying in. That is really cool. Just such a great attention to detail. And of course, like, every piece is removable if you just wanted to, like, throw all of the different debris around the battle. It definitely works out really well, but I think the main thing we're here for is to check out the Hulkbuster, so let's do just that. So here is the Hulkbuster, and putting him next to the Hulk, I do like that it's a little bit closer to minifig scale. I think it's still a little too big, but the reality is, to make a fun Hulkbuster that's playable for kids, displays well, and looks well, there's just no way you could get it to be even close to the same size as the Hulk. So, that being said, I really, really dig this a lot. As far as posability goes, the arms are actually fixed in a right angle position. They don't move. That's kind of a first. Usually every Hulkbuster has some kind of elbow mobility, but this one does not. As you can see at the legs, we've got those mech joints there, which I think some people are going to feel like that's not a great choice, but honestly, I like the power pose that it makes this have. The legs can only push in so far toward the center there, so I really actually like that no matter what, with his arms open and things like that, he's always going to be in a power pose of some sort. You can move him back a little bit, but I think kind of leaning him up as far as you can is the best move. The ankles move, and when we move this over, you can see that he has Power Blast under his feet. You can, I guess, kind of remove the Power Blast and just have him stand on his own, but then the feet are at an angle, and as you can see, the weight already shifts back. So it's definitely designed to have that Power Blast in the foot for stability, but I'm not a huge fan of, like, if you put this in your like Avengers Armory or Iron Man Hall of Armors, he would always have to have the Power Blast in his feet, which when it's not in use, that doesn't make sense. The fingers, they're okay. They look a little bit like skeleton-ish to me, and this is the point in time where I want to bring in the Infinity Saga, Infinity War version of the Hulkbuster, because this style of mech hand is just the best type of finger to use for, Hulkbusters, in my opinion. I do really like everything else about this, though, but seeing these two side by side, I think that there's a certain level of detail and dexterity that the Infinity Saga one has, where this one does not. That being said, I also don't think it's a fair one-to-one comparison, because they are two completely different Hulkbusters, right? So, they're just completely different. You can't really compare them. But that being said, we can, of course, open it up and see that we have Iron Man sitting inside. So that's how it opens up. I will say, kind of like the pec area, it feels very, I don't know, kind of blocky and boxy, which blocky for a Lego set actually is kind of funny, but I really like the way that this one is a little more streamlined, and I almost wish that they had just used this piece instead of having to build it in a little bit. I'm not really sure I know how to fix it better. There's just something about this area that, maybe if it had a sticker or something, it would look better. It's just something off about it. But anyways, we can open up this again. and we can remove the Age of Ultron Iron Man. Now, as far as the torso and legs go, this is the same Age of Ultron Iron Man we've been getting for quite some time, but that being said, he has arm printing for the first time, and it is completely unique arm printing. It's not the same print that is on the Iron Man statue figure. However, underneath, the head with the glasses is the same as that one, and he does, of course, have a reversible head. So overall, it's a really nice figure. I would go as far as to say it's the nicest Age of Ultron minifigure we've ever gotten for Iron Man, and overall, I like this one quite a bit. That also brings us to the Big Fig Hulk, which is very similar to the Age of Ultron Hulk we got in, like, that slow-mo scene, but this time, of course, he has the Scarlet Witch possessed eyes, which look really good. I'm kind of interested why they don't put printing on the back of the head. Maybe it's just because it would just barely show underneath that hairpiece. But overall, the rest is what you would expect from Hulk, you know, with the printing on the legs, the posable arms, the posable hands. But he does have that new and exclusive Scarlet Witch eye possession print. One other thing with the Hulkbuster that I think is cool to point out is that Veronica hand from the build can actually be put onto the build. So you just remove this, and then there's a pin right there, and then you can put the Veronica hand onto Hulkbuster, and you can even kind of sort of pose it to Hulk. But this kind of plays into how the scale doesn't work, because, like, remember in the movie, like, Hulk's hand is caught perfectly in Veronica, and here, like, you can barely make them reach each other. I mean, I guess you could get kind of close, but you get what I mean. The scale is just not quite there, but it's the closest we've gotten to date, and I like it quite a bit. So as we bring things to a close, let me know what you guys think of this set. I like it a lot. I certainly think it's worth $50, but it'll be even more worth it when it eventually goes on sale, as all LEGO sets do. I think it's nice getting two familiar but variations on minifigs from a very specific scene in a movie. I really like how well this displays, and if this is any future indication of what the Epic Moment Collection could build out to be, I'm really excited to see what else we could get. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.